How's it going, everyone? My name is Zombie Peter, and welcome back to the Resident Evil 7 demo, and boy oh boy do we have a lot of secrets to cover in this one. So it turns out, we really weren't covering a whole hell of a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the introductory video, because we already covered that, because I just want to get right into it. Apparently, there is a lot more we didn't even cover. What that involves, though, is I have to go ahead and do everything else like I'm getting ready to escape. I'm going to go ahead and beat the monster because it disappears once you get the key. It doesn't come after you anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, get the fuse, unlock the attic, get the axe, everything like that, and just get everything all set up. Nothing we haven't seen before, just so that this video will be a little bit faster. Yep, make the noise. And so I'm just going to go ahead and set that up, and then we'll be right back here. But nothing you haven't seen already. Just gonna get the axe, get the fuse, get everything set up and ready to go. And then we'll cover everything else. And it's going to be bare minimum. So I will see all of you back here shortly. Oh, fuck you, monster. Oh, fuck no. Okay. Oh. Alright, yep, he disappears. Alright, so the monster's gone now. So that's everything we need. We have all set up, and didn't even really need to do that, other than just to make the monster go away, and so that we could avoid him and make everything easier. But we just did the basics. We ran upstairs, got the basement key, came down here, and got rid of the monster. So now begins the bonus exploration. So first we pick up that lockpick, just that's to get the axe, which we already know how to do. That's just in the kitchen. And apparently there's actually another way to get that lockpick to open it up that was covered in a video that I used for help you. I actually used 2 videos for this. And I'll leave a link for both of them down below in the description, because one of them is just kind of getting the Easter eggs and just doing all that. And then another one has more of an in-depth analysis, which I thought was really cool, because I personally like to just, learn a little bit more about it and hear other people's theories, which it's really nice to speculate, and then that's how you just talk to people about what the hell you think's going on. Again, I don't even need the gun. I'm just doing this just so we can do absolutely everything. So we'll go ahead and pick this up. Don't even really need it, but makes me feel better. And we'll get some more bullets, even though we're not going to be shooting anything. Alright, so now, getting into it, we have, first thing you're going to need is this blank notebook that, comes from right here. So nothing special about it, just a blank notebook, doesn't really do anything. And a couple more bullets. So we have this blank notebook that at the end of the true ending, we noticed that some words were written into it. And those were upstairs. And so also we're going to need is this finger, which we never knew what the hell this finger, and there's a hand upstairs. We didn't know what that was for either. But that's going to come into play now. So we've gotten rid of the monster, we have all the keys and everything, we're just heading right back upstairs. With this blank notebook in our inventory, if we walk over here to this writing on the wall, we'll notice that something's going to happen. So we look at it, and we hear that giggle. 5 guests murdered, but where is unknown, nothing to point to their final gravestone. So now, if we look in our notebook, we see, hey, there's something written in it. So we look at it, and it says, Grace will not wake when the clock makes its chime. Her covers are heavy. It's her last bedtime. So, now we reach over here and grab that hand that's on the ground. Well, I guess it's just the... And we combine this hand with this finger to make basically a pointing left hand. So if you look at this door right here, right now it's clean. There's nothing on it. But if we go downstairs, because these rhymes are riddles, and they're telling us where to go. So here we are downstairs at the base of the stairs on the first floor. And you see there's a clock here, and there's this big heavy cabinet. So if you look at the riddle again, it says, Grace will not wake when the clock makes its chime. Her covers are heavy. It's her last bedtime. So there's going to be 5 riddles we're going to have to solve. And these 5 riddles are the gravestones. These are where people have died. And apparently what we're doing is we're seeing their death echoes, or their last moments. And here, this one, there's this clock, which is the chime, and then there's this big cabinet that is the heavy cover. So basically it's saying that this fell on her and squashed her. So what we do now is we take this hand, and we examine it, but then we rotate it to point directly at the cabinet, and... So there you could hear there was sort of that squish sound and the cabinet falling over. That was Grace, unfortunately, being squashed by that cabinet. But now if we go back upstairs to that door that was clear before, it didn't have anything on it, it should, if we did it right, It has, yep, there's the first handprint. So now every time we solve one of these riddles, there's going to be a new handprint. And there's 5 total. Alright, so we got the first giggle and solved the first riddle and had the first bloody handprint on the door. So I came down and got the axe, not because we're going to need it right now, but we are going to need it in a second. Also, since we're here, I'm going to grab the bolt cutters and get the VHS. Again, not going to need it right now, but we will need it in a little bit. So since we're already here, we might as well grab it. So we'll go ahead and yes, cut this with the bolt cutters. Thank you very much. And now we grab the VHS. So, if we go back upstairs into the attic, and if instead of going into that room where we would escape, if you keep going down the hall and to the right, there's a lamp or a light bulb, whatever you want to call it, just up in the corner. And if you walk up to it and stare directly into it, it should cause the second giggle, which means that you now have a new riddle to solve in your notebook. I don't know if you need to get the VHS and the bolt cutters first. That's just the way, the order I do it in. Phil's tucked in, tight on his cold, stiff bed. He's having sweet dreams of not being dead. Alright, so stiff, cold bed, and Phil's dead. So that means we need to go back to the basement, which is why we got rid of the monster, because this would be really hard to do with the monster trying to murder us. So that's why we do all that first. So now we pretty much have free range of the house. We can do whatever we want, wherever we want, and there's no more monsters to fight or anything like that. There'll be creepy noises, but that's just, noises. So we'll just go back downstairs, and we need to use the finger again to point at one of the corpses that's lying on one of the gurneys. So back here in the basement, there's all these bodies, and there's only one lying on a cold, hard bed. So back in the inventory, we bring out our left dummy hand and point it at the body. And it sounds like Phil shot himself or got shot by someone. I'm not sure, but Phil's dead. So that means we've now solved the second one, which means the second bloody handprint is up on the door. So that means we have 2 down and 3 to go, and they only get harder as you go on. For the third giggle and the third riddle, you're returning back to the staircase. And if you walk up just a couple steps, you look on the right, you see this picture with a bag over this lady's head. So it doesn't matter if you have the axe or the gun, but as long as you hit it, you get another giggle. So now another giggle means another riddle. Stanley was told to go hide and they'd seek, but they wouldn't let him out no matter how much he shrieked. Telling us to go down beneath the stairs into this little Harry Potter type room. Someone who lives under the stairs, because this doesn't seem to go anywhere else. So same thing as before, you just get the finger and you point it at it. And then you should hear... You should hear Stanley not having such a good time. Now the other giggle is actually relatively close by. If you just walk up to this mirror, now depending on what you're playing on, if you're playing on PC, if you press X, you will do a quick 180. So if you face directly at the mirror and spin around, you get another giggle, which means another riddle. Marlene was so proud of her white and blue necklace, it made her feel tall and left her quite breathless. Now I'm really glad I watched some people who are way smarter than me figure this out, because I would have been here forever and probably not even solved it then. But if you head back upstairs, and I have no idea how someone notices or figured this out, but if you go into this room over here, and if you look up across the top, there's blue and white wires running across. Now I don't know if it matters where you're aiming, but as long as you're looking at the blue and white wires, you should be able to get the death echo by pointing the finger at it. Alright, so that is 4 down. And 1 to go. Were there 2 mannequins here before? There were, yeah. So we're already 88% done. However, this last one is the most difficult. For this 5th one, you need to go into the VHS tape, which we already got, and you need to trigger a ghost sighting. Now, there are multiple ghost sightings, so you have multiple chances, and you can always just go back and do it again and again until you get it, if it doesn't work. But it'd be nice if we got it on the first try. So we'll go ahead and put in the tape, and we'll go through here. And I'll try to cover the ghost sightings as best I can from what I remember. Ecstatic. Alright, so after that short little introduction, they'll walk up to the front door and try to get in the house. over here to the left, that is where the ghost might appear. It's not guaranteed. But after they say, are we rolling? Then you look over here to see if the ghost pops up. So go ahead and say your thing.
Are we rolling?
And
All right, let's go.
no ghost, but that's okay. That was only one of the possible sightings. You get multiple tries per turn through. So the next one is you want to go inside behind these guys. And they're going to walk down to the end of the hallway. I don't know if it matters if you let them walk all the way down there first or if you follow right behind them. But I'm going to let them walk all the way down because they wait for us anyway.
You ever prep?
Alright, so they get down to the end of the hallway and we walk in behind them. Now, if we turn around really quick... Ah! Did you see? There it was. There was the ghost sighting. So we got it. I'm going to try to cover the rest to see if we can get any more, just to make sure that we get it.
Clancy, get a shot of this. Let's make a great cutaway.
Now, as they're talking about this, if we look over at this microwave, she should pop up right in that window right here. And if you look back and forth multiple times, it increases your chances, but didn't happen that time, and that's okay. Additionally, another way to break into get that axe is there's a lockpick right there. So if you get that, then you can walk over and unlock that. There's no axe in there, but you can unlock it and get it later.
Andre, what do you think?
He's gone.
Andre?
And now another one is the ghost might appear right up in that doorway right there.
Clancy, you see where Andre went?
Nope, no, nothing there. But now you want to be really close behind Pete.
Where is he?
And you want to look over these stairs as quick as you can. And nope, no ghost. Sometimes a ghost will pop up right on those stairs. We already got one, and that's all that matters.
But a good cameraman like you, Clancy? You stick with me.
There might be more ghost sightings. I can't remember all of them. But now what you want to do is you want to try to get in front of Pete once we're inside, and he'll open the secret door. Alright, now if you're quick enough, when you go to that ladder, sometimes the ghost will pop up right there, but unfortunately it didn't happen that time. But now we already got one glimpse of the ghost, so we just end this little VHS, and then that should hopefully trigger the last giggle. The giggle isn't guaranteed to happen if you see the ghost, but it is something that you absolutely need to see if you want it to trigger. Alright, so now after you finish the VHS portion, and you saw your ghost, you go back downstairs into the basement. Just another reason we're really glad that that monster's not there to try to murder us. Now, once you're in the basement, you might be able to trigger the giggle. It's not guaranteed every single time, but if it doesn't work, you can just go back and watch the VHS again. So if you look at this doll on the floor right here, and it seems I'm not getting a giggle, so I have to go and do that VHS portion again. If the giggle doesn't trigger, that's fine. You can just keep doing it over and over again. Keep trying to find that ghost until it finally happens. But if you don't see the ghost, it probably won't trigger. It doesn't matter how long you see the ghost, just a split second will work.
Are we rolling? All right, let's go.
There, we got that first trigger now. So I don't know if that means she won't show up anymore for the rest of the time, or if she could show up every single time, but I'm going to try to get as many sightings as possible so we can hopefully maximize our chances of getting that giggle.
Let's make a great backdrop. Andre, what do you think? Andre? Andre! Andre! Clancy, you see where Andre went?
But see, that's an additional way you can get the axe.
Where is he?
Now if we stay right behind him and look on the stairs, nope. Okay, so I think you might only get one ghost sighting per run. Fingers crossed. We're going to go ahead and look at this doll on the floor, and no giggle. So, I'm just going to go ahead and cut ahead to when I finally get that fifth giggle triggered, and all I'm going to be doing is just watching that VHS over and over again, and every time I see the ghost, I'm going to run down here to check to see if the giggle's ready.
Where is he? Unfucking believable. This is the last time I work with that guy.
Well, we saw the ghost again. Does that mean maybe this time we'll finally get that giggle? Hello, doll on the floor. Hi. No giggle. You're not. There it is. I cannot tell you how many times I've done this because I've lost count. But we have our fifth and final giggle, which was definitely the hardest one to get. Timmy did not mind the harsh light of 4 suns. Eyes required heads, and he did not have one. So what this is referring to is the 4 cookers on a stove top. So we go back into the kitchen, and over here you see these are the 4 cookers, so those would be the 4 sons. And the only food, aside from whatever mess is going on in the microwave and fridge, is this pot over here. So we open it up, and we get those scary bugs all over our hand. We better freak out about that, and not the monster we fought earlier. And now we pull out our hand one final time to point it right in the middle of this mess. And we hear what sounds like a saw going through some meat. So if we go back upstairs, that is now all 5 gravestones and all 5 death echoes we've heard. So that door that was once immaculate and clean should now be covered. Just covered, Jackson Pollock style, in blood. So here we go, and there it is. There's that mess, with scratch marks, and handprints, and swipes, and a whole mess of basically not happiness going on. So now, we go inside, and there's a coin. All I know is in the title they said that it was a dirty coin Easter egg. I don't know what that is. I have not looked in past what happens when they go inside, specifically because I want it to be a surprise. But here we go. Gonna go in really slow. Open it up. That doesn't look like a coin. That's a chair that's rocking underneath the light. Doesn't seem like there's nothing else in here. So, hello, creepy rocking chair. Nothing's gonna drop down. Hi, what are you? You're the best ever. Oh, all right. And that's the coin. You're the best ever. Dirty coin. There it is. Huh. And a laugh instead of a giggle. So, sure, an old commemorative coin. There's some kind of bird on it, and it looks like it's the same on both sides, and there's that rusty, moldy goo on it. I think there are multiple ways to actually reach this point, and to get all those giggles, you don't have to do it exactly the way I did. That's just how I saw it. And like I said, there were 2 videos I used to make this one, and I'll be linking them down below. There was one by Swing Point, where he just went through and did the Easter egg things and had like a little bit of discussion about it. And then there was a more in-depth one, but it also had other things like the true ending and how to do that and stuff by Psychedelic Snake. But that one had more of a discussion based on theories and thoughts and everything that was going on here. And it also had a more in-depth explanation on how to get to this point specifically. So again, I will leave a link for both of those down below. But that is going to be the end of this video. So we're going to go ahead and end it on a high note by climbing out of here and getting the true ending once again. Even though we have the tape and we have the coin and everything else, we're just going to go ahead and leave, because I don't think there's anything else we can do here. So we are out of here with the true ending. I don't know if this is going to affect our ending or not, though, but we still have the true ending because we didn't get infected. When authorities searched the house, no videotape or other corroborating evidence of murder was found, so that's the same. And LSD thing? The man's description of events was outlandish but detailed. However, they were discounted after a small amount of LSD was found in his possession, so nothing changed. The terror continues. Alright, so that was it. I believe that is all there is for Easter eggs. We got the dirty coin, and we managed to escape without getting infected. So, go us! High fives all. Item transfer, dirty coin. You can transfer this item to the main game if you have saved data for this demo. Oh, okay, so we get a reward. We get a dirty coin in the main game, which, judging by its description and the past Resident Evil games, usually when you have something like this, you basically sell it for a lot of currency in the game. So, I'm guessing that that'll, give us, like, a bonus starting amount of cash, or maybe unlock some weapon or something that basically just makes your game either a little bit easier or a little bit more interesting. Other than that, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked the video, be sure to let me know by smashing that like button. If you want to say hey, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this game. I hope that you enjoyed it. Goodbye for now. Until next time.